Have y'all ever went on a Tinder date thinking you scored a 9 out of 10 on ABG, but it turns out they actually committed identity theft? Yeah, happens all the time on Tinder. So this story takes place at a time when I just recently got out of a long-term relationship and I was going overseas to live in Sydney, Australia for about 4 months. And as you know, as a single person who just got out of a long-term relationship, you're just not used to having any dry spells. So my standards at the time were that if you're living and breathing, that was good enough for me. So when I got to Australia, I made Tinder and Bumble because, you know, you gotta double your chances of getting lucky, of course. And at the time, I was really into girls called ABGs. If you guys don't know what that stands for, it's Asian Baby Girls. So not long into my swiping, I matched with this one girl who happened to look like an ABG. So I was like, okay, we both can get some, let's go. So my game at the time wasn't, you know, the best because, I mean, your boy just got a long-term relationship. So y'all gotta forgive me when I say our conversation looks something like this. Warning, what you're about to watch contains explicit language and adult themes and may not be suitable for all viewers under 18. Please do not try this at home unless you want a dry spell. So I hit her up and say, hey. She's like, hey. And I was like, how are you? And she's like, good. How about you? Then I was like, better now that I matched with the cutie, winky face. And I was like, so, you know, like, what brings you to Tinder? And she was like, I just wanted to get on here, you know, to see what happens. You? And I was like, oh, you know, I'm just looking for some fun, you know, are you down? And she was like, yeah, I'm down. And if you've ever been on Tinder, you know that 99.9999999 times 10 to the 9999% of the conversations will look and sound like this. So anyways, Friday night rolls around, you know, I hit the gym, get a nice little pump. I don't know about you other guys, but do you guys also do this where you guys go to the gym, get a nice little pump before you go on a date or go to the club? Because I do. Anyways, I started also listening to J. Cole and start psyching myself out, like wondering if my dick was big enough to fuck with, and I pray to God I wasn't going to bust quick. So 10 o'clock rolls around and she finally comes 3 hours late. I get off my couch, walk to the front door, and there someone is. So when I opened the door, I was a little bit confused as to who I saw at the door. I thought it'd possibly be one of my roommate's friends, but after a couple seconds, she's like, hey, nice to meet you, Anthony. So I pull up my phone just to double check that I didn't order some pizza by accident or something because something just wasn't right. You know when you go traveling to an Asian country and you go to this cheap end restaurant and they have these amazing photos of food for about $1 to $2 and you just feel like you got the greatest bang for your buck, but when the food comes out, it looks like crap and half the portion size and you're like, what the fuck? Something I also forgot to tell you guys was that on her Tinder profile, she only had 2 photos and they both had a filter over her face, one of them being that typical doggy hoe filter. So I was a Tinder rookie at the time, but this is a big tip for you guys that are out there on Tinder right now. If a girl only has a couple photos with all filters, you best bet she ain't her. So at this point, I know I definitely fucked up and, you know, I can't really do anything about it, but, you know, here I have Rena standing in front of my door waiting for me to dick her down. As she started walking to my house, all of a sudden, my standards, they came back. So I stopped halfway through coming to my bedroom and I started to think, what should I do? So I turned around and I was like, hey, so you know, I think I'm a little bit too tired to do this right now because it's already past my bedtime and it's like 10 o'clock. And I think she started to realize that I knew that she didn't look exactly like how she was in her Tinder profile. And honestly, I felt bad about the entire situation because she had to Uber to my house and then after about 2 minutes, she had to leave and Uber back home again. But at the same time, she did make me wait 3 hours, catfished the hell out of me, and expected me to dick her down. So after this entire situation, I was still on a massive dry spell and I spent every single waking moment debating if I just should have went through with it. Moral of the story, guys, whether you're a girl or guy on Tinder and if you match with someone on the app, just be prepared to knock off 1 or 2 points off the person.